it reflects back to the EM, and what it'll do if you allow carbon to be in your soil. Now, well, what do you mean? Well, it's just carbon is the really basis of everything. Organic matter, you can call it that. It's the basis of everything. If you don't have carbon in the soil, you're working in a sterile media, and that's what modern day agriculture is set up for. Sterile media, add chemicals, get results. It's like injection. It's like an injection system. It will only run downhill. It's just like a drug addict. They're not going to be a better person. They're not going to be a stronger person. And unfortunately, American soil has been treated like a drug addict. Even in the areas where soil historically has been wonderful in the Midwest, they're having to use 3 and 4 times the inputs to get the same production as they did 10 years ago when they were introduced to these products. So it's a downhill spiral. We have to, as farmers, take it upon ourselves to turn this around. I certainly don't have all the answers. I don't think all the answers are out there, but I think EM is a big step in the right direction. It's something that's economical. You could use it on soybeans, you could use it on field corn, crops that you're going to sell in the system, is to say, or you can use it on high dollar crops like asparagus. And it's very versatile. You can use it with other products. There are some limitations which you'll be taught about if you use that. You could set it up for hundreds or thousands of acres just by having tanks and brewing your own product, or you can actually get it shipped to you. If you don't choose to do that, it's very simple. Even I can do it, so it's simple. And this is true. Well, but this would be a big step in the right direction. It's going to cut down on the amount of phosphorus you need in the soil, because a lot of these things are in your soil. Believe me, they're here. It's just that they have a chain and lock around them. They're not accessible to the plant. EM and organic matter changes this potential in your soil. I mean, you can see my excitement, and it's all I'm ever going to be as a farmer. I'm 67 years old. I want to farm till I'm 87 if I can, but you know, that's up to someone else to make those decisions. And but it's the most exciting thing that I've come across in my 35 or maybe 40 years of agriculture. That's the end of that. I won't say anymore, but I want to show you a couple more things. And I think with addition of organic matter in the soil, I could continue to grow crops. Good, clean, saleable crops, higher in mineralization, higher in sugars. My Brix readings have been phenomenal this year for my crops. On our blueberries, we're getting Brixes of 15 and 16, which are almost off the scale, so I'll say 14, and that still puts it at the top of excellent. So
they were excellent. They were delicious.
I was close to that before, but now I'm there. So EM has done that.
That's fantastic.
I'm sure of it, because I'm using the same. This is a cover crop of Sudan grass, and it's been mowed off one time. This will be in production next year. We've mowed it off for the organic matter one time. Now we'll let it grow up again and mow it off a second time. If the season presents itself, I may even get a third cutting, you might say. This helps the organic matter in the soil a lot. I'm going to put kale in here.
Oh,
a whole
nice.
field of kale. So come see me this winter when it's cold at the market.
Nice, that's fantastic. We'll get all our kale there.
And it's going to be EM kale.
That's great.
You know, it's moved like number one in the list for people to eat, really. With
it is.
With
the nutrients in there?
the nutrients plus the antioxidants. Yeah. They're starting to put a, I think that's what kept these people alive here. This was kale country. Everyone here ate kale all winter long. I think it's what kept them alive, honestly, because the rest of their diet wasn't very good, but I think the kale did. Yeah, I want to show you my okra and my spinach.
Beautiful okra. Wow.
There's that spinach, Linda.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful. Look at the shiny leaves on that. Wow.
This is our okra. This is okra planting, picking season. We're picking a lot right now. But this, and I haven't done any fungicides. The only spray that's been added is fish oil and EM. And the plant is keeping its leaves much better. It's not elongating. It's like some years it'll get like tall like this, but this year it's setting the buds in a close pattern, which makes it easy to pick. It keeps it here. And the production is getting phenomenal off this. We're getting very, very good production, and it's just, I spray EM from this aisleway here, and I spray EM from this aisleway here. Yeah. This was, these dead leaves are from cucumber plants that's been pulled up. We've planted peas there now, climbing peas. They haven't come up yet, so. These little farms like this are always in transition, so it never looks like a crop like your soybeans. It never looks that beautiful. It's always some's going away and some's coming, but that's just the nature of our business. But yeah, I've seen a very positive reaction to EM with this. I'm not getting the reddening of the leaves on the lower leaves. It's keeping the plant strong. The diameter of the stem is big, and most importantly, the production is quite good. Excellent, yeah.
And then this spinach is amazing.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah, this is my summer spinach here, which has been a real hit for us, and we really like it. It's been also treated the same way with EM, fish oil, and it's been very, very productive. I don't have any numbers that I can give you on that, but we have one row of it, and it goes to 2 markets each week, and it seems to, everyone seems to like it. I did some bricks testing on this, and the bricks levels were real high, much higher than the conventional spinach. Oh, I will say this about it. I gave a friend some of this to try, a longtime friend who loves to make spinach smoothies. So he made me some smoothies out of my spinach and brought them back. And this was spinach, he'd had it for a week. He says, I couldn't believe it. The spinach I buy from the grocery store, in 2 days, it's just fallen apart into nothing. And this spinach is staying, it looks the same. And I said, I thought so. So anyhow, I tried the smoothie. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. And he said now if he doesn't make one for his wife, he sends her to work every day. I thought that was good. And she chooses to. Anyhow, she gets mad if he doesn't make her a spinach smoothie. I said, my friend, tell her after about September 15th I won't have spinach anymore, so she does, you know. So
but you'll have kale.
We'll have kale. We'll make kale smoothies then.
Okay. That's beautiful. I have never seen like the shiny leaf like that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I think this is an Indonesian spinach, but it likes the heat, and you see it's even on black plastic, and it likes the heat. So, but it's really good, and it has the bricks have been. I don't have this specific variety of bricks reading for it, but it's much higher than bricks readings for the conventional spinach sold in the grocery stores, so it's been good. Yeah. The guys out here, I don't know if you can get a shot of that, but they're planting broccoli and cauliflower, and we're using the EM water as a plant in the plant water. They're planting Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower. It's all they've had is EM on them through the. I put a drip tube by them because when we planted they planted them in the field. It was in the 90s and no moisture in the soil. We put a drip tube, and I've been running EM to them. I've run about 2 gallons to the acre It's only a half acre, but it would be equivalent of about 2 gallons a day. 100% survival, and really, really green. I mean, to make these look not green, they look good. I'm tickled about that, because I was expecting. I planted them a little close on the centers in the rows. I was expecting to lose some percentage. I didn't lose any.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't lose a plant. Yeah, it's amazing. Well, let's say this. Since I quit using chemicals, this is by far the nicest looking tomatoes I have had, and they have had EM on them at least twice a week in fish oil. They are given a little more consideration because they're just getting ready to come into production now, but I can show you, give you a pretty good idea. You can see the set on them and see that they're doing quite well. They're not a particularly large tomato because they're not bred to be a large tomato. I like to sell a small, medium tomato, and but I just wanted you to look at these. You can see the fruit set on them. These have only had fish oil, EM. They have mulch underneath them, which is hay mulch. I have used calcium on them. This was kind of soil that I felt was a little low in calcium, and I've used liquid calcium on them. And you can see the set of tomatoes on them. But most importantly, we don't have the disease in the plants that we normally would have. These plants went through 105 degrees weather and in the 90s for about 30 some days of their existence, and we don't have the foliar diseases we normally have. And there's been no fungicides. The only thing I say, they've had fish oil, they have had some calcium, but mostly EM. So I'm very, very impressed. These tomatoes will come in a little after the glut in the market's over with, and it'll be of some help to us. Yeah.
That's great. It's beautiful.
I'm going to show you this. You see those cherry tomatoes there? Can you believe the
Oh,
size
nice.
of those things?
Wow.
Let's see. These are little tiny guys here. I don't know how they are. Yeah. There's one there. These are kind of split, but you can see. You see the tomatoes have a nice heavy set on them. And okay, this blueberry bush obviously is not a baby blueberry bush, but it's what it was. It was actually replanted from another field. A field I was moving, the field, just a short line. And I want you to note this one, and I want you to note this one over here is a better example, actually. These were pruned off because it had to be moved, and it was moved bare root. But I just want you to note this, and I'm going to show you two that I would call a control, which had no EM on them. These have had EM on them, as this field has, weekly since the buds began to form on them. So I will show you these in another place that have not had this treatment, and I'll let you decide.
That sounds good.
Okay, these were transplanted the same day. This is without EM. That's the only difference.
Oh my gosh.
You know, actually, probably the soil's probably a little better here because I had made this soil up when I put it in here. And but these were transplanted the same day as the two I showed you in the picture. This one and this one right here. And you see they're just barely holding on for life. They have a few shoots that'll show me the plant's alive, and next year we'll put them up with EM too. But that's my control. That's the only one I have.